Chicago in the 1970s was a city alive with hustle. Blue-collar neighborhoods, corner bars, and families who knew each other by name. In Norwood Park, there was this guy, John Wayne Gacy, who seemed to fit right in. A stocky fellow with a wide grin, he ran a construction business, PDM Contractors, and had a knack for making people feel at ease. He was a guy you'd see flipping burgers at a block party, cracking jokes, or handing out beers. But his real crowd pleaser was his side gig as Pogo the Clown. He'd slap on the grease paint, a baggy suit, and perform at kids' birthday parties or charity events, making balloons and pulling goofy faces. To the folks on West Somerdale Avenue, he was a local hero, the kind of guy you trust with your kids. But something wasn't right. By 1972, young men, teenagers, runaways, kids just trying to get by, started vanishing across Chicago. A paper boy one week, a high school kid the next. Families were left with nothing but questions, their faces plastered on faded flyers, stapled to telephone poles. The disappearances kept coming, each one tightening the knot of fear in the city. Parents started setting curfews, telling their boys to steer clear of strangers. The cops, though, were stumped. No bodies, no clues, just a growing list of names. Gacy, he was just another face in the crowd, waving from his porch at 8213 West Somerdale. His house as ordinary as any other, but neighbors started noticing things. A rancid smell seeping from his place, like something dead in the walls. Sewer lines busted, he'd say with a shrug, and people bought it. After all, why suspect the guy who dressed as a clown for sick kids? Behind that smile, though, Gacy was unraveling. He'd lure young men with promises of jobs or quick cash, inviting them to his house. Once inside, they didn't leave. He'd charm them, get them drunk, then turn predator. Handcuffs, ropes, a knife. By 1976, the body count was climbing. Hidden in the crawl space under his house, a damp, dark tomb. As the years rolled on, Gacy's double life grew bolder. He'd host backyard barbecues while the crawl space beneath his feet hid his secrets. He'd chat up cops at local diners, even inviting them to his house for coffee, all while the stench grew stronger. Some neighbors swore they heard faint noises at night, muffled like something trapped. Gacy brushed it off, blaming rats or bad plumbing, but his confidence was slipping. He was getting reckless, drinking heavily, arguing with his wife who eventually left him. The community still saw him as the jolly clown, but cracks were showing. He'd snap at people, his temper flaring, and those who worked for him started whispering about his odd behavior, how he'd linger too long with certain young employees, how he'd disappear into his house with them and come back alone. The smell got worse, impossible to ignore. Neighbors complained, but Gacy always had an excuse. The cops questioned him a few times. Some of the missing kids had ties to him after all. He'd worked with a few, hired them for odd jobs, but he was smooth, always ready with a story, that neighborly charm deflecting suspicion. Me? I'm just a businessman, he'd say, adjusting his glasses. Meanwhile, he kept performing his pogo, laughing with kids while the crawl space filled up. By 1978, the tally was staggering. Dozens of young men gone. The city was desperate, families begging for answers, their grief spilling onto the streets. Then in December, 15-year-old Robert Peace told his mom he was heading to meet Gacy about a construction job. It was the last time she saw him. Robert's disappearance hit different. His family wouldn't let it go, pushing the cops to dig deeper. The police started tailing Gacy, watching his every move. He was sloppy now, unraveling under pressure. They got a warrant and stepped into his house on December 21st, 1978. The smell hit them first, a putrid wave that made their stomachs churn. Down in the crawl space, they found the truth. 29 bodies, some just skeletons, crammed into the dirt. More were later pulled from the Des Plaines River. 33 young men and boys, all gone because of one man. Gacy was arrested and the clown act fell apart. He confessed chillingly calm, describing how he'd lured them, killed them, hid them. He'd used his charm, his status, his clown persona to mask the monster underneath. The trial in 1980 was a media frenzy. Gacy's lawyers tried to spin an insanity plea, claiming he wasn't in control. But the evidence was overwhelming. Photos, belongings, the crawlspace itself. The jury didn't buy it. He was convicted on 33 counts of murder, sentenced to death. Chicago was never the same. The guy who'd made kids laugh, who'd shaken hands at community events, was a predator who'd preyed on the vulnerable. The killer clown nickname stuck, a grim reminder of the evil hiding in plain sight. When Gacy was executed in 1994, they closed the chapter, but the scars lingered. Families grieved, neighborhoods rebuilt, but the name John Wayne Gacy became a warning. A monster can wear a smile, a clown suit, and live right next door.